Hey guys, welcome to the post market report. And as you can see, another sideways yet volatile market in the Nifty, Bank Nifty, and overall stock market today. As you can see on a daily time frame, have Nifty start here a beautiful hammer candle indicating a bullishness in the market. But again, like I've mentioned in my past, at least 10-20 videos, the main level for me to watch out as a technical trader is at this particular level. But market has not come to that zone yet. So I myself am waiting for that zone to take a better efficient trade. But if you look at it on when I zoom it out on a daily time frame, you notice it's a very strong support zone. So I'm waiting for that particular level. If this hammer candle was over there, that would make me very happy as a trader. But Bank Nifty, on the other hand, right, is beautiful. As you can see, let's zoom out so you can see the bigger, clear picture over here. As you can see, we have a trend line support that is very strong, has taken 3 to 4 times, and clearly on about 2 days ago, the market actually broke down that level. But now we have another level to watch out for, that is a horizontal support loan as well. Like as you can see, this is a very nice support zone because as you can see, we have taken multiple supports in this particular zone. So clearly it's a very strong zone, and today market has managed to close right above that zone after breaking it. So this is what we call as a fake out in technical terms. So clearly this is a very interesting news, because what will happen over here is if any candle closes below this hammer, as per technical analysis, it's a bearish, that means it's considered very bearish, and this is a nifty, bank nifty might head downwards, right? But it has closed above this horizontal support zone as well. So clearly I'm very curious to know what will transpire, but clearly this will give us as technical traders a sharp momentum. So I'll be keeping a better eye on bank nifty compared to nifty for the next two, at least 2 to 3 coming days. So next off, we have the main news of the day, that is electronic related stocks like Dixon Technology, Keynes Tech, Amber Enterprise. All of these have fallen about 8 to 7%. As you can see, Dixon Technology and FNO stock is down 8%. That's huge. And Keynes Technology down about 4%. Amber Enterprise down about, actually it was down 5%, but closed around 3.5%. So the main reason behind this is the US markets. So see, understand that whenever there is any news in the tech market in US, that will affect Indian tech companies as well. Even though it is electronic, it falls under the same category. So there are two main reasons why the US tech market is actually a bit bearish, especially considering Monday and Tuesday. That is mainly because of the inflation data. It's very stubborn. It's not going down. Again, we have Trump, a new president, who will be able to maybe handle that situation. But again, he just got into that position. So we might be able to see an improvement. But as of now, there is a very a bit of a negative inflation data itself coming in from the last couple of months. And the negative inflation data actually causes another major event, that is the interest rate cut by the Fed. Every month they get together and they discuss when they'll make another interest rate cut. And clearly, if the inflation data is not coming under control by January, and again there will be no interest rate cut. This will really affect the tech companies because their rate of borrowing will go up. So clearly, that's as a result of that, even Indian electronic and tech companies are a little bit down in the dumps because of that news. So next off, we have microfinance players, which are like Spandana, Spurti Credit Access, or Fusion Finance as well. So they've all gone up by a huge amount today. As you can see, Spandana is up almost 20%. Credit tax is about 10%. Fusion Finance is about almost 7 to 8%. And there are two main reasons behind this such a incredible rally. One is that there is a government department called as Department of Financial Services, and they are holding a meeting this week to actually assess what are the things that are issues that are faced by the microfinance players, right? So all these in this particular sector, what are the issues, and they want to address those issues, so to help these companies, which is a great news. And then the second news is actually the union budget, which will be in about 30 days. In February we'll have the union budget, and clearly this is a trend. Whichever stock, whichever sectors that the market as a whole thinks will get benefited from the union budget will go up. And वही सेम चीजों को हम इस आज माइक्रो फाइनेंस सेक्टर में देख रहे हैं. So we have Exicom Telesystem, which actually went up by 5% today because they have signed an MOU. MOU basically stands for Memorandum of Understanding to build basically a lot of EV charging infrastructure across India. So now, see, this is a great news because clearly there, a revenue for the coming quarter three will increase. And on top of that, if a company is signing all these, EV charging infrastructure, they'll obviously get a lot of subsidies and even the taxes are less. So it's a great thing for Exxon Systems. So clearly, it has gone up by 5%. In fact, it's such a great news, and the stock has only gone up by 5% because the upper circuit limit is at 5%. Because it's a small lowercase company. So clearly, because of that, the limit is at 5%. So it has gone up by 5%. So I'm curious to see what will happen tomorrow. So next up, we have Suven Life, which has went up by 11% today, and this is because it's basically a healthcare company and they were running a clinical trial for cognitive disorder. They were trying to cure a disease in cognitive disorder. So basically, whenever these companies they come up with a drug, in order to sell that in the US market, clearly US is a very economically benefitive demographic for them to sell drugs. So clearly, whenever they have to sell any medicine over there, they have to get an FDA approval, and that will go on for years, where they'll have to conduct a lot of tests. And today, in that test, apparently, a drug from an Indian company named Suven Life has performed really well. There's a good progress in it. So clearly, we see a huge raise in the stock. I even have a chart over here. We can notice for the last couple of weeks, the stock was in a very bearish turn. But as soon as the news hit the markets, with very high volumes. Actually, news came out around 1:32 p.m. As you can see, it was completely sideways. But as soon as the news came up, a huge surge in the shares of Suven Life. Next up, we have Paytm share, probably one of the worst hit stock today, down 8% after MPCI, which basically oversees all these UPI and online transaction. They mentioned that in the month of December, they had absolutely no market share gain, right? And see, look at it this way. For example, my own parents, even they have already signed up for UPI. They know how to use UPI. So clearly, there are a lot of people who have already come into this. They have become users of UPI. So clearly, it's very hard. They have hit that flattening of the growth curve where they'll have to struggle and they'll have to do a little bit more to get more users, new users signed in. So this is not such a big thing, but again, Paytm is actually under fire because clearly it's not such a well established company at the moment because they have had to face a lot of issues. They have overcome a lot of issues in the last year itself after getting banned by RBI for their banking services, right? And there were a lot of other issues as well, which they have actually overcome. They have signed MOU with HDFC, Kotak, ICICI, all the biggest banks in India. So they have figured it out. But again, a negative data like this will clearly have a negative impact on the share as well. So as you can see, even technically, not only just fundamentally, not it's not just news driven. Even if you look at it technically, you can notice that there is a rising head and shoulder pattern. Can you notice it? Yeah. So even there's a trend line and there's a inward head, basically head and shoulder pattern breakdown with very high volumes. So clearly, both fundamentally and technically, Paytm for me seems a bit negative. And next up, we have Asina Housing, which extended gain for the second day has gone up by 8% because basically they have given their business update. A lot of companies are giving their quarter three business updates. They have to mandatory by SEBI by December end or January. So again, they have mentioned that it's a real estate company basically, and have apparently sold close to 450 crores worth of real estate in the last quarter itself. So they are expecting a lot more drive in the real estate sector. So clearly, we can see the stock has gone up by about 8%.
If you're a trader following market calls and tips for day trading, use our tool RNT, Research and Trade.
All you have to do is link RNT to your trading account, then just sit and relax. Turn trading into business at app.gwcindia.live. Check out description for more details.
Disclaimer: investments in the securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.